So it's after 12. My friend over at Geek Girl Geekasm tagged me to do this video, and I waited till after my show was done. I was watching Ink-Master, and I'm not happy about it. But I'm not gonna say anything about that because spoilers, and I don't want to say anything. But here's a list. I am Jack. I wrote a list because there's no way I'm gonna remember all of them, and I'm tired. So I also had to write down some of the answers because I have trouble sometimes saying what I want to say. That's why I get pauses in my videos, like right now. But it's just a list of different things, geeky things, dirty things. I'll put a list in the description so you guys can answer it if you want. I don't have anybody to tag back, so anybody that wants to answer it can go right ahead and answer it. Question 1 was, what's your favorite superhero? It depends if you're talking about Marvel or DC. If you're talking about DC, I'd say probably Batman. I love Batman. For Marvel, I'm more of a Marvel fan, so that's actually harder, but I'd say Iron Man. I love Iron Man. Yeah, I like both playboys, both with money. But I don't go for that type of real guy, which is weird. Yeah. Number 2 was my favorite supervillain. My favorite supervillain is, there's no question, there is no Marvel one, it's Harley Quinn. If you can see up in the corner there, that whole shelf, and up there, that's all Harley, all Funko, except maybe three things up there are not her. That whole shelf has Harley Quinn on it. I love her. Can't wait for Suicide Squad. She's the whole reason I want to see it. Question 3. Marvel or DC? It's kind of a tie, but I lean more towards Marvel, except for when it comes to DC. DC, I like more of the bad guys. I don't like the good guys. I like Harley. She's my favorite. I like Poison Ivy. I like the Joker. I like the bad side of DC and I like the good side of Marvel. So it's a split. Video game. I did not write down a video game because I don't really have a favorite. I have PlayStation 3 right now. For a while, my favorite was Destiny. I love Destiny. But my favorite game will just be whatever I'm playing at the time. I'll usually go on a kick and play it for weeks straight until I get bored of it or I get stuck on it and I can't do anything. Like I did that with Batman, I did that with Skyrim, Resident Evil, I did it with Destiny. That's right now. I'm more on old school games, which would be Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Rayman. So yes, I am a gamer. I can't tell you everything about every single game, but I can tell you games that I like. Everybody thinks, well, you can't tell me every single no, that's not what makes you a fan. That just makes you obsessed. So, yeah. So there's no set thing for video games. I like a lot of different video games. Just Pokemon. System. I'm not a system snob. I'll play anything with a controller. I can't play PC because I need a controller. My mouth is getting dry. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get a 4 soon. That might take a while, but that's one of my next goals. Question 5. My favorite sci-fi franchise. Probably right now it's Orphan Black. I love Orphan Black. I liked Twilight Zone growing up. I liked Star Trek. That's what happens when your dad's a Trekkie. You're gonna like Star Trek. You're gonna grow up watching it. Anything like that. Can't really think of it right now. I know there's other ones. I watched some of the old Twilight Zone. I liked the newer ones because it was new when I was younger, so I got into it till they canceled it, and I was really upset when they canceled it. Next was my favorite fantasy franchise. That's again, I'm a fantasy sci-fi. I'm into all of that, so that's a hard one to answer because there's a lot of favorites that I have. I wrote down. I liked the movie Willow. I grew up watching Willow. Legend, not I Am Legend. Legend, with Tim Curry as the big devil with giant horn. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm tempted to dig it out right now out of the DVD pile and go watch it, but it's too late right now. I liked Aragon. I like Vikings. I like pretty much anything fantasy that, if you name it, I'll tell you if I watched it, but there's a good chance that I've seen it, or at least heard of it, if I haven't watched it. My favorite geeky TV series is Big Bang Theory. That's a given. I love Big Bang Theory. I love Sheldon. I have a friend who reminds me of it, and he knows who he is, and if he sees this, he'll know it's him. My favorite horror franchise. Let's tell you right here. It's not really. I don't consider it horrors, but some people do. I like older horror movies. I like newer horror movies. I don't get scared by them, so some of them I won't even finish watching because they're so cheesy that I get bored. Some would have been like Sweeney Todd, the Tim Burton version, Mirrors. I love The Conjuring. That's one I actually liked. Chucky, Freddy, Jason, all anything like that. I liked them all. I didn't start watching them till I was older because when I was little, I was a big chicken. I'm not anymore. My favorite horror TV series. I would categorize Supernatural as horror only because there's monsters and blood, and most people probably categorize it as fantasy. I don't. The monsters, yeah, would probably be fantasy, but I consider that horror. I love American Horror Story. Again, I don't consider True Blood horror, but a lot of people do. It's like fantasy to me. I love vampires, and zombies. So Walking Dead is a big one. I didn't get into zombies till a few years ago. I got into vampires before that. This was all stuff that I started into as I was a teenager. Because when I was younger, I was into the pink and purple, which I still am, obviously, but now it's kind of, I like both. I'm kind of the goth. I don't have a set style for anything. I like country music. I like pink. I like horror. I like timber. Like I'm so all over the place with everything. It's it's hard to pinpoint me with anything. superpower. If I could choose a superpower, I'd want to talk to animals. I think that would be cool to be able to know what they're saying. So if something's wrong, they could fix it. If they want something that is they can actually have, that maybe you could give it to. I don't know. I always thought that because I have 3 dogs, 2 of which are mine. One's not mine, but I have 3 dogs. Sometimes I'd like to know what they're saying. Other times, I just want them to be quiet, like they are right now. They're sleeping. But yeah, that's what superpower I would choose. Most people would pick like flying, invisibility. No. My favorite Hogwarts house. Everybody says Slytherin because they don't want to be in Gryffindor or whatever. I pick Gryffindor because I liked Nearly Headless Nick. And there was a little fan fiction thing I read about Fred and George and him coming back as Gryffindor's ghost because Nearly Headless Nick won the headless hunt. Don't ask how his head fell off during the Battle of Hogwarts. So he lost his head and then he ended up winning, and then I don't remember the whole thing, but part of it was Ron and Hermione's kids and then Harry and Ginny's kids coming into the school and then getting to see their uncle because he became the I actually started crying reading it. It was just a little blip of a story, but it put me up toward I actually was leaning towards Slytherin for a little while, but that made me like Gryffindor all over again just thinking about it, so I picked Gryffindor. My favorite fantasy race or mythical creature, I like fairies and dragons and unicorns. I love unicorns. Definitely dragons. I have several dragons around my room. I'm not gonna move the camera just because I can't get it back into place. Yeah, I guess dragons and unicorns would be my 2 top favorite creatures. Just because of how badass they are. Yes, I called unicorns badass. I don't care what you think. I think they are. My favorite Star Wars movie. I liked all the Star Wars movie. Again, when your dad is into all that, and you grow up with it, you're gonna end up liking it at least a little bit. I loved the last one the most probably, just because it was amazing. I went and saw it a few times. There's certain parts, yeah, they could have done better, but that's in any movie. I'm not gonna knock it because I loved it and I don't care. If there's a part when they're on the base, I don't know if everybody saw it, but they had a pink R2-D2 unit, and it was made for a little girl who, I think she had leukemia. She was dying, or she was sick with leukemia. I don't know if she died or not. But they made another one, and then they put it in the movie to honor her. And I read that, and I was just glued to that screen trying to find. And I saw it in maybe 3 scenes. So next time you watch it, keep an eye out for anything pink, because obviously pink is gonna stand out. It's a pink R2-D2 unit, and it's actually really neat if you see it. It doesn't move. It will just stand there stationary. The camera will move, but it won't move. So if you get a chance to watch it, look for that. It's on when they're on the rebel base. And I think at the end of the movie on the base, you can see it kind of mixed in with everybody as they're celebrating. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's just a little Easter egg that I found that I really liked. My favorite Lord of the Rings character. I'm gonna have to go with. I liked. Legolas, because I like Orlando Bloom, and I thought he looked really cute in that blonde wig. That's when I started to even like him as an actor. I liked a lot of the characters. Merry and Pip, I love them, they're hilarious. My dad's more of the Lord of the Rings. I watched the movies, yes, and I liked them. But they're so long. But yeah, I did like them. They were okay. I'm just not. My Lord of the Rings is not at the top of my fandoms list, but I do like it. My favorite Game of Thrones character. That one I can tell you I like Daenerys because she is badass. I love her. And if she dies, I'm going to be pissed because I know nobody's safe. But if she dies, I'm going to be so pissed. I love the dragons. That's a given. Tyrion, I did not like him at first, but as his character has changed, I've started liking him more. I don't like Littlefinger. I hated Joffrey. Cersei, I like how bad, and it sounds weird, but I like how evil, I don't want to say evil, she's really not evil, she was, kind of, when she pushed Bran out the window, oh, she didn't push him, brother pushed, she does bad well, I can say that, because she's said how people have told her how bad of a person she is at conventions, and she thrives on that because she says that means she's doing the character right, and it's true, I mean she is, so I like her at times, and when she makes me want to smack her, but I like her, but Dany and Tyrion are probably my top two, and then the dragons, I like Drogon's my favorite dragon. Oh, now, if anybody watched last week and you saw Hodor and what, I'm not going to say everything that happened because, again, spoilers, but oh my god. That was so, oh my god. Again, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know, oh my god. But yeah, 16. My favorite anime. For movies, I would say my first anime was probably Kiki's Delivery Service because I watched it on Disney Channel. It used to be on. And then I saw Howl's Moving Castle. I love Spirited Away. Some people consider Pokemon anime. I don't. I just consider it a cartoon. Oh, my brain's not working. Fairy Tail. I love Fairy Tail. Sword Art Online. That one took me a while to get into, but now I love it. I need to watch season 2 in English because Netflix only has it in Japanese. I can't watch it like that because I can't focus on what's going on and read at the same time. It bothers me. But those are my favorite animes, especially Spirited Away. That's one of my very favorites, and Kiki, another one of my very favorites. So I'm more into the movies than the shows. There's a few shows recently I watched Little Witch Academia. That was really cute. I haven't finished the whole thing yet. I saw the first, I want to say episode. I thought it was a movie, but apparently it's episodes. Kind of a mini series, I think. There's different ones. But yeah. And my favorite book series. This is my favorite book series. It is called Tiff. There are 3 books in this series. It's by Holly Black. She's one of my favorite authors. There's also Valiant and Ironsides. This is the first book. This is the book that got me into the series. I love it. It's about, obviously, since fairies. It's about a girl. Her mother's kind of a flake. Her mother's in a band. They end up moving back home because of something happening. I'm not going to tell you every detail, but she gets herself into trouble. She is a changeling. She is a changeling who didn't know she was a changeling. Which they say that not too far into the book, I don't think. She figures out pretty early on that something's different about her. And then it gets more into it, and then there is a little bit of romance, kind of. There is fighting, there is death. The second book, it's not quite the same story. It's got, I think, small little links in it that tie it to this. You have to look for them because I picked it out right away. There was a sentence in the book that just, I know exactly who that is. The third book is about a character from this book, so that one ties it all back. And again, it doesn't go back to the second, which is the only thing I didn't really like about it. I wanted a consecutive series I wanted the second book to be about them, but it's okay because I love all the books. That is my favorite series. I have other series. I have tons of series. I have Wicked. Not the play Wicked. It's a different series called Wicked. I have the Vampire Academy series. I have 50 Shades I have read it. I understand why people don't like it. I like erotica, so that's something that I've read. What's the other ones? I have... the series itself doesn't have any, but it's like white is for magic, blue is for... It's a type of series about magic, mostly candle magic. I read that when I was younger, and I liked it. Obviously, Harry Potter. I've always been a reader, so yes, I was into Twilight at one point. Cassandra Clare, so City of Bones, all those books. That's my... I don't know if I ended up seeing it, but now the camera doesn't want to stay. I have lots of books. I love books. I don't read as much as I used to, mostly because I don't have time. I do read comic books too. I like comic books. That out there is Lady Mechanica, which is autographed by the author that I got at Comic-Con a few years ago. Sadly, he did not finish writing. I don't remember why. I think he got sick. It stopped about, I want to say 3 at I want to say issue number 3 or 4, which I did not get to read because I couldn't get them. And I had first I had issues 0, 1, and 2, but my ex, who was supposed to mail them back to me, because he was being nice at the time, kept all my comic books, kept all of my movies. I had hundreds of dollars in movies and books, and he never gave any of it back. So I'm trying to rebuild my movie collection, my comic book collection. I just bought the Suicide Squad, some of the issues that I used to have. But yeah, that's the last question. This is probably the longest video I have made. And it's getting... what time is it? Oh, it's almost 1. Yeah, it's almost 1, but... I will put the questions in the description when I get a chance, so you can answer themselves. I'd like to hear everybody's answers. Doesn't have to be in a video. You can write it in the comments, so I can get some comments. Whatever you want to do, don't answer. But yeah, I'm about to head to bed, so like, comment, and subscribe if you... I know I sound so enthusiastic right now, but I'm tired. And I'm in pain, my shoulders are hurting. And I have to work tomorrow, so it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna have to. But yeah, everybody have a good night, have a good day tomorrow.